broadcasting intimate details and useless information from an undisclosed location in New York City. The Last Show with David Cooper.
If you're a tech worker at a big tech company, why take all your compensation in cash when you can be paid in computation? Let me explain. Silicon Valley has invented a new perk of the job. It's not stock options, it's AI tokens. Your paycheck now partly powered by computer processors crunching numbers for you. What the heck is going on with this story? Let's discuss it with Alastair Barr, a reporter and author of the Tech Memo newsletter at Business Insider. Alastair, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So to me, this is a sign that the AI bubble is about to burst. But before we get there, okay, what exactly is AI compute as compensation? And who in their right mind working at a tech company would want that rather than just cash or stock options or a bonus or money?
Yeah, I usually just want cash for everything. But yes, AI compute, so that there's everyone's probably heard of ChatGPT and generative AI. So there's a version of that for when you're a software coder, and it has become very, very good. And if you're a software engineer and you want to do more and produce more code and better code, you can use these AI coding tools to do it. And that's really taken off, I would say, in the last 3 or 4 months, especially. And then the problem is if you're an engineer and you're using these AI coding tools, they use a lot of computational power. And if you're a company, the company has to pay for that. And if you use it a lot, that money can get very, very large amounts of money. And so if you're the CFO or if you're the manager of the team and you're like, okay, well, I'm already paying you $500,000 in stock and cash and stuff, and then you just racked up a $500,000 like AI compute bill the last year. Okay, we need to change something and put that into the whole compensation pie.
I'm going to come up with a simple, contrived example. I'm an engineer working on some software, and there's like a really deep bug in there. And I see a couple error messages, but I don't understand the bug. And so I ask a really deep, really power-intensive AI tool to find my bug, tell me about how it's happening so I can potentially fix it. How much money in electricity and computer power are we talking here to answer these questions using these AI tools? Is it like $5 of electricity or more like 5,000? Like, how expensive is it to run these computational models on code?
I did a story last year actually about people using tools like Cursor and also just the original Claude Code. And these are, again, AI coding tools that software engineers have really jumped on. Some of these people, I called them inference whales, basically like people who use these things a massive amount. They were racking up bills of $20,000, $30,000 a month on these things. So if you add that up over a year, that's a lot of money. And you add, if you have 100 engineers, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I did study math in university, but at least that's more than $5 at least, doing a little napkin calculation here. But is the average engineer, performing at a high level using these computationally intensive tools, are they racking up bills that sort of mirror their own salaries? Like, are companies really needing to factor this into to like how much it costs to have an employee at a company?
I think you're right to ask that question. My story was basically that I've seen over the past maybe month or so that a lot of people who I kind of respect on Twitter and other social media and the AI circles have been discussing this as an emerging issue. So I don't think right now that the CFO of some big tech company that we all know is already baking it in, but they're beginning to discuss it and it's basically saying we should do this because to your point about a bug code fix, if there's a really large code base and you decide, I'm going to let Claude Code or some other one of these tools go to town on this code base and check it. If you don't say work for 2 hours and come back to me, these AI tools can work for like a day, 2 days on these things. And then every single time they do that for a long amount of time, they basically generate these things called tokens, which is just the way the AI models digest queries and basically do the computation. And every single token that is processed, that is a certain amount of cents. And then, there's millions and millions of these tokens, so it adds up money-wise. So I would say your question is very fair. It's like an emerging debate in Silicon Valley that they're going to have to do something about this. And I would also say that actually this is probably a really important point. These AI coding tools are becoming so useful that really ambitious AI engineers, if they're thinking about going to another company or even moving up in their own company, they're like, well, in order for me to do a good job, I need access to this computation. And then the company will say, well, we need it for all these other AI things we're doing, so you can't have it. And they're like, but I want it. And there's a fight going on. So it's a valuable resource, a new valuable resource.
So are we seeing this in job postings? Like, I left the tech industry just before, well, a couple years before AI became popular, like at the beginning of 2021. Back then, job listings would list off things like salary or stock or bonus or health benefits or a gym membership. Are we seeing it on job listings? Like, if you come work for us, you can blow $50,000 a month in AI computation. Maybe not that much, but are we seeing it in job listings?
So I've seen it in a couple. There was one that was for is a pretty I would say kind of mid-level kind of software engineering role, and it was like a remote work thing, and it had every single kind of regular piece of compensation, and then it added a monthly subscription to Copilot, which is the Microsoft one. So that's a very basic one. So that comes included in this role that you'd be doing. And then I'd say less specific, but similar. Mark Zuckerberg last year, when he went on this massive AI recruiting surge that he did, that was very, very expensive. Like, one of his main pitches is, you come to Meta, you will have access to all the AI compute we can give you. Now, is the CFO of Meta baking that into everyone's comp? Yeah, I don't think so, but it's the same thing, right? He's going out, building all these massive data centers, spending billions and billions of dollars on all this compute. And one of the reasons is not just we need to make good AI models. It's like, talented engineers, you come here, you'll have it all. You don't have to wait. So I think that's, again, it's like, so that isn't compensation, but that's like, should I go and work for Google or should I go and work for Meta? Well, at Meta, I'm going to have all this compute.
There's a joke here about them needing all that compute power to make Mark Zuckerberg continue to function properly, but whatever, we'll make that joke another time. Where is this money going? Is it just go into the pockets of OpenAI, ChatGPT's parent company or whatever? Like, is Anthropic blowing all that money on data centers? And so, like, it's the hardware companies like NVIDIA that make the chips and then the memory chips and also the utility company that's powering the data center? Or is it just going in their pockets and they're going out for caviar every night?
Obviously, ideally, some of it should, in theory, go into Anthropic's pockets. I don't know how much is going in there right now, but yeah, like, if you go down one layer, it would be the data center operators. So Anthropic has a load of deals with, especially AWS, Amazon. So money would go into Amazon's pockets, and then Amazon has to turn around and buy GPUs, networking equipment from NVIDIA and everyone else. And then it's like, well, how are we going to run the data centers? It needs electricity. So then it goes to, I don't know, Constellation Energy or whoever else it is.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, some of it comes out of our pockets when we pay more for electricity at the end.
Yeah, I wonder who's getting rich here. And it sounds like maybe not the tech workers, because now they're being paid in these compute tokens instead of cash. I wonder if we're in a bubble, a conversation that we didn't have time to attack, but maybe that's okay. On the one hand, it sounds ridiculous. On the other hand, it sounds like, I don't know, the industry's changing, and maybe I'm the weird one. I don't know.
I'm having that feeling a lot lately. Like, the industry's changing, and am I missing it? I don't know.
Well, you can read more about this in Alastair Barr's piece called Silicon Valley is Buzzing, about this new idea, AI compute as compensation. You can read that in Business Insider, where he works and is the author of the Tech Memo newsletter. Alastair, thanks for joining me. I appreciate you coming on the show.
That's fun. Thanks for having me.
This episode is brought to you by Athletic Brewing Company. No matter how you do game day, on the couch, in the crowd, or manning the snack table, Athletic Brewing fits right in. With a full lineup of non-alcoholic beer styles, you can enjoy bold flavors all game long. No hangovers, no buzz, no subbing out for water in the second half. Stock the fridge for tip-off with a variety of non-alcoholic craft styles available at your local grocery store or online at athleticbrewing.com. Near beer, fit for all times.